One of the most frustrating parts about male nature is that a lot of us tend to be sexual hypocrites. What I mean by sexual hypocrites is that we want to be able to have our cake and eat it too. And so today I want to show you in what ways men tend to be sexually hypocritical and how that relates to you. And now this video is not about demonizing men. It really isn't. It's about helping you understand male nature, helping you understand how men are, so that then you could have realistic expectations. When you don't understand the dark side of male nature, a lot of the times you're going to get really disappointed. And because you don't understand the reality of it, when it happens, it hits you like a fucking thunderbolt. You just don't see it happening. So I want to give you guys these facts about men so that you can more properly change your expectations and have better relationships with them. What happens is that when you deny this reality, you're going to bump heads. But when you understand how men are, the expectations you have for them are more realistic. And so your relationship with them will be much easier, even if it means understanding our dark side, okay? Also, so before we begin, don't forget, we're having 50% off all of our courses using the coupon code BLACK. And if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, use the coupon code BLACK to the end of the month to get 20% off our coaching calls with me, okay? So you could do that. It's almost done. The month is almost over, so you better do that now or else I'm closing the channel. So the first aspect that men are sexually hypocritical in, and that's men are more judgmental about their family than other people. In other words, oh yeah, I don't mind a girl. There's nothing wrong with being a stripper. No, if my daughter's a stripper, that's a completely different thing. Oh yeah, I mean, you gotta let them be. It's okay for them to have an OnlyFans account. But if it's my daughter, it's a completely different story. And it kind of makes a lot of sense. But that's why if a guy is open-minded, like if he says, "Oh yeah, I'm a free lover. Women could do whatever they want." Yeah, they're like that. But as soon as it's their girls, all of a sudden it's different. Why? Well, because it makes a lot of sense. I don't mind you doing it, but if you're with me, I'm gonna judge you. So guys, in that sense, if you're his friend, he'll be less judgmental. If you date that same guy and he knows your secret, he's gonna use that against you. So that's the first one, right? They don't mind other women being the strippers, but when it's our daughters, when it's somebody else that we know, all of a sudden it's a problem. It's because we're sexually hypocritical, people. The next thing is, they'll try to sleep with you, but if you do sleep with them, they'll try to sleep with you, and if you don't, they'll be disappointed. But if you do, they'll be disappointed as well. What does that mean? What that a guy wants a woman who says no to him, but also another part of a guy wants to actually sleep with you. Guys have two parts. They have their higher self and their lower self, just like everyone. They have the parts that's long term and the part that's short term. And the problem is that a guy will try to sleep with you because it's in his nature. It's like his dark side just says sleep with her. But as soon as you sleep with him, his rational side is going to judge you, the amygdala and the frontal cortex. You have sex with him, his frontal cortex is going to judge you. You don't have sex with him, his amygdala is going to be pissed off at you, right? Those are two conflicting sides of men that most men don't really reconcile. It's just part of our nature, and it's really difficult to turn it off because evolutionarily, the reason why that hypocrisy is programmed is because it makes sense, right? You want a woman, right? You have sexual urges, right? And if the woman fulfills that, you're happy. But then the other judgmental side that you just cannot control comes in and says, she's like it just says she's a slut. And so you can never truly be happy. Now, some guys are less judgmental, right? If you sleep with a guy early, some guys understand that, which is fine. But the problem is that the guys that judge you, a lot of the times they tend to be toxic. because it's a reflection of themselves. It's a reflection that they really don't like themselves, that they really don't accept themselves, right? It's like when if you see a lot of escorts, you'll sort of judge them, but not realize you're also part of the same thing, right? You judge them as a way to separate yourself, to feel great, to feel more morally higher than the woman, right? And so that sexual hypocrisy of wanting you but judging you is something that's really difficult to reconcile. And that's why I always tell people that if you do want to sleep with a guy early, don't do it. Wait a little longer, because it's something that a guy just cannot help but to judge. The next one is that guys want to freak. But if you're too freaky, they'll judge you. But if you're not freaky enough, they'll judge you too. What the fuck? Like, seriously, it's kind of wild. Well, that's because, unfortunately, those things just don't go together a lot of the times. You know, like, it's like antima to it, meaning they don't go together. Maybe you could, but guys are very suspicious, where they'll be like, where the fuck you learned that from? You know, like, if you do it too good, they'll get suspicious. If you do it too good, they'll be, oh, she's too vanilla. And so it's one of those things that if you are a freak, make them think you learned that from him. All right? Don't bring out all your best moves in the first date. Right, one time, this girl that I dated in Amsterdam, she was Muslim, by the way. Muslim girls are crazy. Those hijabs, when a girl wears a hijab, a lot of times she's wild. Anyways, so we were together, and I went to the store quickly, to get something. I went back, we did it again, but I swear to God, it was almost like somebody switched places with her. It was legit, like, from Earth. I'm like, where the fuck she learned this? Did you just go to YouTube, Google it, how to do this? And I was shocked. But then a few years later, I found out that she was a stripper, right? And so it kind of made sense. Like, she was too good. So the problem with women is that if you're too good, guys are gonna be suspicious. But if you're not good, they're gonna be unsatisfied. Oh Lord, this video is getting toxic. Next one. Let me see. Though you can see your man. Oh. The next one is, if a guy cheats, guys will be like, baby, but it was only sex, right? They think that, which is kind of like the common excuse that guys tell women, but I don't love her, it's just superficial. But if you do it, oh, Lord have mercy. What the fuck? How big was his dick, right? Guys, unfortunately, we have a fragility that you just cannot take away. It's hardwired in there, because that fragility is meant for another time when we were humans, that we needed those sexual hypocrisies. It needed to be in place. Nowadays, times are a little different, and it's just in isolation, this evolutionary trait, which is successful, looks hypocritical, because we're living in a different time. Now look, most guys are not this hypocritical. We do have a little bit of it. Some guys more than others, right? Like, if I sleep with a woman, it's no big deal if she sleeps with me on the first day, but at the same time, it's kind of like, oh, well, like, let's just do that with everyone. It's just how humans are. It's not a video to say that we're bad, but it's just understanding that we are flawed human beings. Just like women have their flaws, guys have their flaws as well. It's never going to be a perfect world. And so the sooner we're able to accept our own hypocritical side and see it as just a part of who we are rather than resent it, we can have better relationships with each other, all right? Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully y'all did not break up with your man. Don't confront him. He did not do nothing. If you guys want to work with me one-on-one, click on the description down below where it says work with Father Alex. You guys can get a one-on-one phone call with me, not an AI. And don't forget, all of our courses are on discount until the end of the month. That means psychological game of attraction, natural chemistry, nice girl, Charisma Blueprint, The Feminine Woman, Emotional Mastery. You could get them all in one go or get 50% off using the coupon code BLACK. All right, take care. Bye-bye.